People get tired of me talking about it when they talk about music, but I can't help it. It done something to me.
My name is Tim Kirkman. I am the co-director of the short documentary film Freeman Vines. I grew up in rural North Carolina, and I know that world really well. And this story came to me through Gil Holland, who's a producer in Louisville, Kentucky. He and I have done a lot of work together, and he said he had been approached about making this documentary about this amazing artist in Eastern North Carolina who makes guitars, and some of the guitars are made from wood that were used for lynching black men. And it turns out Freeman was very ill with multiple myeloma. He didn't have much longer to live, and so there was an urgency that we felt like we needed to do it right away. But I didn't want to do it by myself, and also because the focus of the story is an octogenarian African-American man. Even though I feel kinship with being from that area of North Carolina and also being an artist myself, I just felt like I didn't feel comfortable telling the story alone. Fortunately, there's this fantastic filmmaker in Philadelphia, Andre Robert Lee. He and I have known each other for 25 years, and we've always wanted to do something together. And so I approached him and he said yes. And so together we spent a weekend in North Carolina with Mr. Vines and captured a moment in his life, and also captured images of the work that he's been doing for his whole life. When we went to North Carolina to shoot this film, one of the things that we had hoped to do was to be as respectful and as thoughtful about who he is and who he has been all of his life as possible. Like we wanted to not make this sort of an ethnographic, observational film. We wanted him to tell us his story and to capture it and make sure that we were doing our best to honor that. The thing that surprised me the most when we got to North Carolina was that Mr. Vines was living alone in his studio, making guitars, and in a wheelchair. And the fact that he was still so lucid and funny and energized and excited that we were there, that surprised me. Because before that, I thought he was going to be, and he was very sick, but I thought he was going to be in much poorer condition. But he was thrilled that we were there, and we were honored to be in his presence. And so I think we both had this, a few moments whenever you're doing a documentary, you have these moments where, do I trust you? Do you trust me? And there's a little bit of a get to know each other. And that disappeared almost immediately, and he welcomed us into his space. We captured so many stories, and there were a lot of different ways we could have approached this film. But our cinematographer was also our editor. His name is Ethan Payne, and he's a fantastic filmmaker. And so what Ethan did was he culled through the footage, and with our help, with our direction, he came up with a story that is really about Freeman Vines in this moment in his life. There's a little bit of history involved in the storytelling, but we really wanted to capture this moment at this moment in his life. And in doing so, we were able to, I hope that we were able to capture something that was respectful and that honored what he has created. We were a little nervous at first because he had this Hawaiian shirt. It was open to his navel. He's rolling around with his wheelchair, and we were thinking, how much of this do we want to show? How much does he want us to show? How much should we show? I mean, there were a lot of ethical questions that came up with subjects like Mr. Vines. That went away almost immediately because of him. He made us comfortable, and he said, I am an open book. And it was a great experience. It was a life-changing experience. Freeman Vines is a fine artist, and what I hope the film does is shed light on rural artists, particularly artists of color, because they have traditionally been erased, invisible, or made irrelevant historically. And so my hope is that we can further help audiences seek out and celebrate and support the arts in communities that are outside of cities.